We're just going to take a big breath together. And as you breathe in and you exhale, just close your eyes. And I just encourage you to take a few breaths now, just starting to settle into your breath, settle into wherever you find yourself, maybe even start to settle into my voice. So as we begin to deepen the breath, you're going to find your thoughts wander. You might even find yourself distracted. But I would just encourage you as much as you can to come back to your breath or my voice and see where this takes you. So let's take another deep breath together, really feeling the breath fill our lungs, maybe let our shoulders rise. And then as we exhale, feel that sense of release, a sense of relaxing, letting your arms be loose, almost feeling your hands just dissolve into your legs or one another. Letting the breath become a little longer, a little slower, a nice evening breath. And what I always encourage individuals to do is really picture the breath almost as a wave coming up to the shore. And see if you can watch that wave roll in almost up to your feet as you breathe in, and watch that wave go out back to the ocean as you exhale. And see, without trying to control or trying to place too much effort, just try to find some balance with that in and that out breath. Noticing as the breath comes in, the depth and the length. Noticing as the breath goes out, that point when it finally ends and the next breath begins. And as we deepen this meditation and we become more aware of our breath, we no doubt become more aware of our thoughts. And I'd encourage you on this next breath just to follow the breath up into your mind. Almost imagine your mind like a room within your house, full of many different objects, and even piles and piles of paper. And you can picture these piles as just these thoughts that you've been building up maybe over the last days or weeks. And I just encourage you to take a couple deep breaths, and as you find a particularly big pile, just exhale and almost imagine like a big wind blowing into that room and just sending those papers out right through the window or out the door. And each pile you find, just taking another breath, really intentionally moving around the space of your mind, breathing in, noticing the pile, breathing out, and just letting it go. And as you find yourself moving around this space, you might even find a couple pages really stuck on the ground. Maybe imagining that those pages have words connected to thoughts or challenges that seem to be very persistent for you. And I'd encourage you to even reach down and almost peel those pages off of the ground. Get those pages unstuck. And if they're too heavy now to be blown out the window, just imagine yourself just throwing them in a wastebasket or a bin in the corner. But taking another breath and just very intentionally starting to clear and empty the mind. And of course, it won't be completely empty, but now just claiming some power over that space. And as you do that, I'd encourage you to just start to deepen your breath, letting your mind become more open, letting your awareness become even more expansive. And what we'll do next is we'll let that awareness spread now, moving beyond our heads, maybe beyond our brows and our jaws. But imagining the breath traveling down into our necks and our shoulders, just releasing and relaxing. You can almost imagine your breath like a liquid color, a balm. Just going through those sticky areas of your shoulders, letting your shoulders release, and just like waterfalls, the breath traveling right down the length of your arms, all the way into your hands, your palms, your fingertips. And for a moment, pausing and thinking about all the things you've held, both physically and emotionally and mentally today. And then taking another big breath, and as you exhale, just letting your hands release, letting go of the need to hold on, letting go of the need even to be in control. And as you do that, you can feel your arms release, you can feel your lungs open, and we'll take another deep breath, and we'll now drop right down through our lungs into our core, feeling the breath in our core, a place we often hold emotions, sometimes swallow emotions. And if you discover a sticky spot or even a dark spot, just breathe into those places within your body in the center of your being. You don't have to let them go. You don't have to force them away. Just offer the breath an acknowledgement that you see them. And that sometimes is enough to let them move and open. And as you do that, let's deepen the breath and let it go all the way now down our legs. Feel it move through your thighs, into your knees, into your shins and your calves and your ankles, all the way down to feel your breath and your awareness at the bottom of your feet. Feel that sense of grounding, how powerful that can be, almost as if a magnet is pulling down at the bottom of your feet. And for a moment, take a couple deep breaths into that feeling, picturing roots growing down beneath your feet, growing through the room where you are rested, beneath the floors underneath, even into the ground. Really play with that sense of rooting and grounding, feeling the earth, feeling that sense of nourishment and connection with the earth. And what I would encourage you to do is any of the emotions you discovered within your body through your breath, just send those emotions down through the bottom of your feet. Picture yourself sending those emotions into the earth, trusting that the earth can absorb them and change them and renew them. And feeling just a sense of openness and space through your whole body. And as you do this, I just want you to take another deep, full breath. A breath bringing your awareness back up to your center line, but this time, before you come back up to your mind, just pausing within your heart. And sometimes we first need to feel the sensation of our heart in the center of our being. But as you take your next breath, maybe dropping even deeper and just picturing yourself in a heart space. This is a space that's safe, a space that's comfortable. Maybe it's a space you've been many times, a room within your house, a place you visit in nature. But I would encourage you to be in that space for a moment. Let go of everything else around you. Almost picture very vividly the objects, the colors, the things within that space, even the smells and the feel of the air. And within that space, within that heart space, you can feel very safe and very protected. And you can picture almost a candle in the center of it. Just a small candle, noticing the flame and feeling a real deep sense of connection. And within this space, I want you to look at that flame and just picture the wick and the wax and the color of that flame as a mirror of your own heart. And as you look at it with each breath, imagine that flame growing stronger and bigger and greater. But this is a very special flame because as it expands, you feel its warmth, but it doesn't burn you. And I want you to imagine taking all of those fears, all of those anxieties, even some of those thoughts that you weren't able to let go of, and placing them in that flame. Watch as that flame changes color, changes form, but also transforms those anxieties, those doubts. And you can even take some of the fears and doubts of the people around you and put it in that flame, whether those are friends or families or even the broader community. Just taking a couple deep, full breaths, really feeling that you are safe, that you are protected, that you are connected, always within that space of your heart, but also within the light of that flame, that candle. So as you take this next breath, imagine yourself almost breathing in that light. Imagine yourself breathing it in through your mouth and your nose, through the palms of your hands and the bottom of your feet. And feel that beautiful light filling all that space you created in your body, within your mind, and even within your heart. And as you do that, feel the weight of that as you come back to your seat, wherever you first began this meditation. And still with your eyes closed, just take a moment to pause on that, to reflect on how that feels, to have that energy within your own body, to have that energy filling yourself versus what exists outside of you. And know that you can offer this in whatever way you can, this feeling of comfort, well-being, to whoever you meet or whoever you speak to, whatever form you can. And just know that this feeling will be with you throughout this night, so you can sleep very deeply and very healing in the rest that you have tonight. So let's take another deep, full breath, feeling our toes, maybe even wiggling our fingers. And then when you're ready, but only when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. So I would encourage you, maybe over the next few minutes, is really just give yourself some space from your phone or your computer. Maybe just jot down some thoughts, some intentions for what lies ahead. I think this is a journey that none of us really expected, but we all find ourselves on together. So remembering that and feeling empowered by that can just really reframe what comes ahead.